Shooting spread terror in Vienna, 2 dead, including a suspect. Vienna, several armed men were still at large after sowing terror on Monday evening in the center of Vienna, killing 2, including a suspect, and several wounded. A disgusting terrorist attack, according to the Austrian chancellor. The first victim was a passerby and the second a woman who died of her injuries, according to the public broadcaster ORF. At least one suspect is at large, Austrian Interior Minister Karl Nehammer said overnight. The attacks have not been claimed at this stage, a few days after the attacks in France. The shootings erupted early in the evening, hours before a containment of Austria to fight the COVID-19 pandemic took effect. The drama took place in the heart of the city, near an important synagogue and the opera house. 6 different places were targeted, police said. At this point it is not possible to say whether the synagogue was the target of the shooters, reacted Oskar Deutsch, president of the Jewish community of Vienna, AKG. The mayor of the city also reported 15 people hospitalized, including 7 in serious condition. No details were provided on the identity of the deceased. The mayor of the city also reported 15 people hospitalized, including 7 in serious condition. There are a large number of police forces mobilized to secure the scene, an AFP photographer noted, as passers-by fled. Shortly after, the opera spectators left the performance under escort, the last before confinement. Stay at home. The minister called on residents to be cautious and stay home. Stay at home. If you are outside, take refuge somewhere. Stay away from public places, do not use transport, the police said on their Twitter account. Police and soldiers were mobilized to protect important buildings in the capital, and the children were exempted from school on Tuesday. One witness interviewed on a television station said he saw a person running with an automatic weapon, shooting wildly, another witness reporting at least 50 shots. According to the testimony of a young woman interviewed by AFP, the neighborhood was immediately cordoned off. Patrons of the neighborhood restaurants and bars were still confined indoors in the middle of the night. Chancellor Sebastian Kurz strongly condemned these attacks. We will never be intimidated by terrorism, and we will fight these attacks with all our means, he said. Cowardly act. The European Union has also strongly lambasted this horrible attack, in the words of the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, referring to a cowardly act which violates life and our human values. For her part, the President of the European Commission writes, also on Twitter, Europe stands in solidarity with Austria. We are stronger than hatred and terror. Our enemies need to know who they are dealing with. We will not give up anything, reacted for his part the French President Emmanuel Macron. Germany also said it expressed solidarity. We must not give in to the hatred which seeks to divide our societies, said his foreign ministry. This new attack in a city where crime is usually very low takes place in a very tense climate in Europe. In France, 3 people were killed Thursday in a knife attack at the Notre Dame de l'Assomption Basilica in Nice, southeast, by a young Tunisian who had recently arrived in Europe. A few days earlier, the beheading of Samuel Paty, a history teacher who had shown caricatures of Muhammad to his students in a course on freedom of expression, had shocked beyond France and plunged the teaching world into the dread and astonishment. Austria had so far been relatively untouched by the wave of Islamist attacks in Europe in recent years. In March 2018, a young man, according to police, an Islamist sympathizer, stabbed a law enforcement officer outside the Iranian embassy in Vienna before being shot dead. In June 2017, a man born in Tunisia killed an elderly couple in Linz. He had explained that he wanted to make an example because he felt discriminated against as a foreigner and Muslim. The worst terrorist attacks in Austria killed 4 people each time. The attack by the Palestinian group Abu Nidal on the counter of the Israeli airline Al Al at Vienna airport, 1985, the homemade bomb planted by the neo-Nazi Franz Fuchs in Overwart targeting the Roma community, 1995, and the bomb letters sent by the same Fuchs, 1993 to 1997,